states, the top 5 states that have low access to health because of distance between communities. Therefore, I choose Taraba to celebrate my birthday so that I can help to support the health services within the communities.
Thank you. Mr. Wale, what do you want?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I really want to join in the people of Taraba State to commend you for that initiative to provide this medical outreach.
Thank you so much.
So far, can you please tell us what and what have you been able to do, or maybe what have you been able to provide within this period?
Now, this is what we did. We know we have basic health challenges that can be resolved at primary health centers. Then we have health services that can be provided at secondary health services like general hospitals. Then we have also services that require specialized services. Those ones can be provided at tertiary health centers. So we took 3 tertiary health centers, one in Wukari, the orthopedic hospital here in Jalingo, and the Federal Medical Center here in Jalingo. The 3 are to provide specialized services. For example, we taxed the orthopedic hospital to do plastic surgeries, to do special cases like hip replacement, knee replacement, fractures. Those services were provided at Federal Medical Center and also at the orthopedic hospital. And we have to bring specialists from other states. We brought some from Jos University Teaching Hospital. We brought some from Abuja. We brought some other states. We harnessed a lot of this number of human resources that could come and provide services that the people of Taraba or villages would have traveled kilometers to access them. And it cost them millions of naira to access some of these health services. And we provided all these services from beginning to the end free of charge for anybody who has these kind of challenges. Then we have people who have basically like hernia, people who have growth, like women who have growth. We have several other cases that some of them could be treated at hospital level, and some even were moved to tertiary level because of the need for a special care for those people. These were services we provided for them, and it covers from test, laboratory test, to pharmaceutical needs, to the surgeries, to the medical attention that people require. And we even provided costs for post-treatment, because like people in orthopedic, they may require a surgery attention. We provided funding to ensure you cover all those post services that people will require after we've left.
Follow. Is there any duration for this program, or just limited to do this birthday period?
We started on Monday. Our ending in 2 weeks' time is 3 weeks. So it's 3 weeks intention, intensive medical outreach.
Sir, looking at the situation of Taraba State,
yes,
which are one of the major causes of people in the rural area with diseases is mostly due to lack of adequate, pure, good water for consumption, which causes diseases and the environment. So is there any development that Taraba can expect from the government in terms of uplifting their lifestyle when it comes to health to prevent diseases in the future?
Yeah, of course. If you look at what's happening at the national level, before our invent as a government, I recall in 2023, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was elected, 31 states could not pay salaries, their own salaries, and they couldn't pay salaries. Not talk of even development and projects. Governments used to even actually borrow to pay salaries. I recall in 2015, when my governor in my state, Plateau State governor, was elected, his first fact that he got was about 2 billion naira in a month. Today, governors who don't receive money, on average in a month, they receive about 15 billion naira in a month. We've grown. And which means that governors now have more money. States now have more money. We've done reforms that has put more money in the hands of the state government, the federal government, and local government. Now, let me just put it this way. You know, sometimes when we talk about poverty rate, people push all the blames to the federal government. But let me start with the basic things that can be provided. Water and sanitation is a local government, not even the state government. That's the work of the local government chairman. We can begin to hold our local government chairman responsible for some of these services they're supposed to provide. We're also giving more money to local government chairman. There's no local government chairman who is receiving 4 or 5 times what he used to receive some years back in 2023. These are things, and you're journalists. You can Google them. The office of the Attorney General, Account General of the Federation, have those data they release every month. So you can check it. You can fact check it. And access to water is basically a local government and state issue. But like I said, look at the distance between local government. Look at the size of the local government. Look at the widespread. If you take, like I told you, if you take one local government and that local government is equivalent to a state in some other states, you provide 1,000 boreholes in a small state like Bayelsa, like Enugu, like Imo, like Ikiti. It looks it looks a big number. Almost all communities will have at least one local government. Almost all communities will have at least a borehole. If you provide 1,000 boreholes in Taraba, it can only be absorbed by one local government for all communities to have access to the same water. So we have to exercise patience with a state like Taraba, so that we're patient, we work with the government at the national level, we support them to provide water, but at the same time we also have international communities. Beyond international communities, we have individuals that can also begin to provide water. For example, before I even went to politics, I provided water for my community and other communities next to me. Before I went to politics, for over getting to 20 years, I provided scholarships. Then I was in university. How much was my salary? But I was providing scholarship every year for my community. I helped build a community secondary school in my village. I wasn't a politician. I was a lecturer in the university. I joined politics about 4 years ago. Today I'm the national chairman of the party. So service should come before quest for an office. And to me, it's important. So that everybody, it shouldn't be only the governor's work to do. Ask in your community, in your village, how many people can afford the borehole? Ask them. Some, about 2 million naira, can drill a handheld borehole. This is what some people can spend in a gift. So I think we're going to tax the community, leadership of the community, people in the community, the government, the governors, local government chairmen, individuals. They can do most of this. And we can hold also politicians responsible. That's why in APC we keep on saying it. If you said that you're a political appointee, you came because we sold a manifesto to the people. People voted for the manifesto. So you must work with us as a party to fulfill the manifesto. You can't say you're not a politician, but you get a political appointment. So we said, come and join us. We'll tell you the manifesto that we actually campaign for. Today I was in the Federal Medical Center with Dr. Aisha. She called me. When I told her I was coming here, I said, what are the critical issues that you don't have? She said, I need the air conditioning in this. I said, okay, I'll mobilize funding, I'll support you in that area. We don't have wheelchairs for critical areas. Okay, I'll mobilize funding, I'll support you. And an individual who was there offered to say that, okay, all those wheelchairs, I can provide them for you. So that's how a community or the party works with the political appointees. That's when somebody says, so no, you're not a politician. How do you get the funding? and you make the budget, you bring to the politicians, they approve it for you. The funding is pushed by them, and you say you don't want to be part of us. That's why some states have more funding than some, depending on how you make yourself available to be used, and also depending on how you know how to talk to the political class. So these are issues that we keep on discussing every day, that there must be partnership within the community, the people, and also the party. The party is here because of the people, and the wish of the people must supersede the interest of the political class.
Chairman, very soon the campaign activities will commence. So, and it seems APC is ready to sustain power. So, what does APC do to the people of Nigeria to deserve a return mandate?
So many. So many. You know what? We're the only party that is futuristic. We look at the future of the country. We design our manifesto, our programs to target the future of the country. When we came in, we rebased the GDP. GDP dropped to about 250 something billion US dollars. Then from that 250 something, from about that over 250 billion US dollars, Mr. President sat down and projected that at the end of 2031, Nigeria should walk towards a $1 trillion economy. And what we did? We said, what are the pillars that can give us a $1 trillion economy? We said, the first, we must be productive. To import and export, we must have that route. It starts with the ports. Nigeria doesn't have a single deep sea port. So all our ships coming to Nigeria, they must dock in Cotonou and batch into our shallow water ports, either in Lagos or Calabar, because we only have shallow water ports. So for every item that is brought to Nigeria, somebody pays for the extra cost. For any big item we are shipping out to Nigeria, we are losing part of the tax and profit that's supposed to come to us as a country. So what we did as a party was to think of 5 deep sea ports. You can fact check them. 1 in Calabar, 1 in Akwa Ibom, 1 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Ondo, and 1 in Lagos. We said, if these items come to Nigeria, how can they be weighed out from the ports into the inland part of the country? And we said we need to connect all these 5 deep sea ports by a coastal road. That's what brought about the dream of the coastal road being constructed that you've been seeing also. That's why we're constructing the coastal road from Calabar to Akwa Ibom to Port Harcourt to Bayelsa to Delta into that Ondo, I'm telling you, the Ondo port, and terminating in Lagos, so that all these 5 ports can be interconnected. In between them will be a rail line. A rail line will run in between the coastal road, so that heavy goods for logistic purpose can be transported using the railway stations out of the country, from the ports into the hinterland of the country. And what did we do again? We said we need a rail line that can move these goods into the hinterland. We said one rail line will start from Port Harcourt, come through Benue into Abuja. Another one will come from Lagos into Abuja, interconnect and interchange themselves. One hitting to just a degree, one hitting to Kaduna into Sokoto, one hitting Kaduna back to Kano, and Kano to Niger. And in Niger, we're hitting to Maradi. And most people keep on saying, why should Nigeria build a dry container depot in the desert? It doesn't make sense to some people. But they forgot that Nigeria is bound by landlocked countries that don't have access to ports. So if we have deep sea ports, all the imports will come into Nigeria through our own deep sea port, through our railway for logistics so instead of going to clear their goods in Cotonou, which is more attractive for them, They can now clear their goods in Niger. So they need to move to the ports to clear their goods. But the tax and the custom duties will come to Nigeria. So Maradi is like you having Nigeria in Niger. It means countries like Chad Republic, Burkina Faso, Niger, Central African Republic, Sudan, and even northern part of Cameroon will prefer that Maradi will be their own import and export destination for the purpose of commerce and industry in those countries. So that would be one of the largest source of funding for Nigeria for a $1 trillion economy. Now just imagine the logistics not easy, and we're building roads also. You recall what we call Trans-Sahara Superhighway that will come from Calabar to Ebonyi, to Enugu, to Benue, to the Oweto Bridge, entering into FCT, FC back into to Akwanga, Akwanga to Jos to Bauchi, Bauchi to Gombe to Biu to Maiduguri. That would be a superhighway that will interconnect, and apart from the spur of the roads that will work to other states, like the one in Taraba here, the spur from Maraba Jama in Jos will moved into Paishin to Shandam. Shandam, this is a bridge, a superhighway that will cross Ibi and enter Taraba State, connecting Taraba State to the superhighway down to the ports, you know, and then connecting all the states across the country being connected. Now, the same thing in Lagos, we have the Lagos Badagry superhighway that will lead from Lagos to Ogun, Ogun to Oyo, Oyo to Oshun, Oshun down to Ekiti, Ekiti you climb up to Kwara, Kwara you enter Niger State to Kebbi and to Sokoto, and we have another link that will link back from Sokoto to Zamfara. We have another one from Kano that will link back to Maiduguri. What we want to have is that you can travel around the country in 4 days. That's our dream as a country, because you cannot build an economy without a good logistics system and network of roads. You are connecting human beings, you are connecting social services, you are connecting commerce, you are connecting agricultural hope. And mark you, the Sokoto Badagry superhighway is going to come with over 300 dams. It's designed to have 300 dams for reticulation and agriculture. That is also built to be the food hub of Nigeria. These are things that are already being done and being worked on, and we have a plan. Now, we're also building the AKK project, the gas line that's coming from Delta to Ajakuta, Ajakuta to Abuja, Abuja to Kaduna, Kaduna to Kano. Now, this is not just gas alone. The same gas is used for also fertilizer production. Mark you. So what does that mean? It simply means that we're transporting food into the north. CNG, we compress for CNG. It simply means that we're going to make transport easy for the other part of Nigeria. The cost of transport will be cheaper. It simply means also for the women and men and family people, gas to the homes. So, and then mark you, over 80% of electricity is by gas. But the entire gas plants are in the south, because the north doesn't have a single gas pipeline. This gas pipeline simply means that we have more electricity. We're decongesting the grid. We need the super grid that we have, but it fails once and the whole country goes in darkness. Now you can have alternative spur of power that will integrate the country by electricity, especially the northern part of Nigeria. We cannot get productive again. So, and I can go on and tell you some of the things we are doing with the manpower development, because we want to see also having a productive manpower. The TVET program, we are making TVET free at secondary school. We are even talking every month for people who are in TVET. We are also giving scholarship, giving student loan in the university to develop critical manpower. Every month, apart from school being paid for you, you get 20,000 naira as token. Let me just really shock you. I know of one kid who told me that 20,000 that he has every month, he picks 5,000 out of it and sends his parents back home for survival. So it's not just about the children alone, it's about the parents. You mean tell me that those children and their parents and their family will not vote us? We have women in the primary health centers. The cost of cesarean service is now free for them. You mean those women will not vote us? You mean communities that we have all these roads passing and they're working all of them, and we employ their children to be working on the side of these roads? You mean they will not vote us? You mean this gas plant we're building is passing to communities, and we're employing workers, people are part of it? You mean they will not vote us? We also have dialysis, cost of dialysis. We cut it half by less than 50%. People are saying services, they will not vote us. When we say that APC will not be voted, I ask them, who are the people? Why is it that when people comment on social media, you look as if people don't like us, but for every election, the masses on ground who don't have access to TV, because I was the Coast Minister of Health, I was asking how many people, because I know last year we registered about additional 4 million people, families, that's on a health insurance. He told me that we now have over 5 million people that have registered, additional people that have registered, mostly pensioners, mostly artisans, mostly poor and vulnerable people who just pay a token of 12,000 per annum in their entire family to have access to health. These households, average of 5% per household, I mean they don't like us. So when we talk about the people, who are the people? The people are not the opposition. The people are not the TV commentators. The people are voters and street people. I mean, tell me that people, I know most of the parties, they share rice. What we are doing here are we sharing rice here? No. You mean these families that have been touched? Please, I've watched some of the videos. They said, God bless President Tinubu. God bless President Tinubu. May God bless him. You mean they'll come and not vote us? We need one in Jos. I mean, we've done several other services. We've even done empowerment for youth in some states. Some in one of the states, we give over 300 million naira soft loan. Not grants to businesses from the party. You mean that they don't like our party? So while they're shouting on social media, they're on TV criticizing us, we're busy working on ground. And I'm sure I'm here now. Tell me one party chairman who has been going around the state more than me. Tell me one party chairman who has been going around the state looking for people to come to this party more than me. I'm on TV every day with people. I've gone around the states. Tomorrow, I'll leave here on Monday. On Tuesday, I'll be in another state. Next week, upper week, I'll be in another state. Moving around. Tell me what they're doing apart from taking tea in some comfort rooms with coffee and criticizing. We don't discuss criticism. We discuss, we are into business of winning election. And winning election is touching the people and talking to the people.
Okay, sir. If you could do one more thing for Taraba State,
yes.
What would it be?
Education. I'm a professor. I know the power of education. I know the power of being literate with education. And you know why? Leaving primary school, I was extremely very poor in education. I was academically very poor. I didn't pass a common entrance examination. I wrote 12, I failed all of them. So I went to secondary school. They just took me to one day secondary school and just kept me there. My second year was transferred to a secondary school because my father was a pastor and a missionary, and they allowed the children of the missionaries to be in the school. And that's how I went to Gindri. And a white lady who took her time to every day teach me with a cup of tea and biscuit. I was actually learning because of the biscuit, not because of the mathematics he was teaching me. But look, that's the power. That's what has brought me this forward. Somebody offered to help me. I'm a product of help and God's grace. So if I have an opportunity, if the best dream you can give any child is to educate him, the best opportunity you can give any child of the least in the community, society, is to educate him. I'm from a rural community, by a poor farmer, by a poor father and poor mother, a petty trader in the village. Today, I sit and address the world. And I look forward to those children in the rural community in Taraba State, that one day I can have a lot of them empowered and built, but they can also address the world. I'll be happy to do it.
Okay. Yeah, so Gloria, please, without question.
Yes. Permit me, Mr. Chairman, to still wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure that the people of Taraba State are excited that you're here.
Thank you so much.
And I'm glad that you also have been talking about the achievements of your great party, as
Yes.
you rightly mentioned,
Yes.
and that you're not taking tea just like the others. So, yes, we're felicitating with you and all. We're happy that God has brought you this far.
Yeah.
But again, you're here in person.
Yeah.
So it would be very nice if you address some of the issues even within Taraba
Okay.
and your party as
Okay.
the whole.
Okay.
Yes, some controversies around the nomination of candidates in the APC around Taraba North. You're here, so how would you talk about unifying the party and even aggrieved members of the party?
Now, our great party has procedures for doing everything. We have what we call the election committee. We have what we call the appeal committee. So we take two reports. Most people just work with what they call the election committee that made declaration. But there's an appeal committee of aggrieved people, where people go and tender their own petition. So if any of the provision is violated, that gives room for either we go to conduct election or for another person to be declared, it is brought to National Working Committee. We send to a team of lawyers who evaluate and make recommendation back to National Working Committee. Then one can take a decision. So some of these decisions were against some people, of course. And it's usual that if decisions are taken, maybe it doesn't favor you, you'll be aggrieved. It's human. And naturally, some people that come to conduct election, we're all human beings. We don't expect a perfect system. We don't work with the perfect system because we're all human beings. But we need some reasonable level of perfection in what we're doing. So for people who are aggrieved, already we set up a committee, and we have also an internal mechanism of self-healing, which we've already done, and they are going around the states and talking to individuals. Even myself as an individual, any state I go to, I meet with people, I meet individuals, I meet with groups, trying to see I can persuade them too. So we're not just bringing people who are outside the party in. We're also trying to keep the people within the party to stay within the party, and we're doing that. And believe you me, yes, some people may be aggrieved, but the fraternity, the fellowship in the party doesn't give people any much alternative to go out, because they know that our party is stronger, will provide more reliable access to success politically. If you're an APC, you've nearly won the election because of our widespread, our strength, our organizational strength, our skill, our membership numbers, and everything. And of course, success, political success, has a big table. You must not be a winner. I contested election for governorship. I lost it. But here am I. Because the table is always big to accommodate you. I was a minister. I'm here also as national chairman. The same thing, people that maybe they lost today, who knows? The prospect of their political career is still wide and open.
Yeah, Zakaria, please.
Mr. Chairman, you are welcome to Taraba State and happy birthday, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, indication of the achievements and the plans in respect to the 2027 general election.
Yes.
If you recall, the issue of insecurity in this country is one of the biggest issues.
Yes.
Although you are from Plateau State.
Yes.
You heard what is happening here.
Yes. Yes.
Look at all this insecurity in the country.
Yes.
If the government have not done anything about it, to affect the 2027 general election. What are your plans to improve, especially the issue of insecurity in places like Zamfara, Sokoto, Plateau, and other places, the issue of the herders and farmers? And we appreciate our governor for standing in the issue of security in Taraba. So in Taraba, we thank God for that. But other places, the issue of insecurity is one of the problems. What are you doing, or what plans do you have to improve the security in this country?
Thank you so very much on that. Like I keep on saying, health and security are one thing that people always look forward to. If somebody is sick, his only prayer will be, if you ask him, what do you want? He will say, I want to be healed. If somebody is not scared, if you ask him, the first thing he will ask you is that, I want to be what? To be in a safer place. And I know that's the cry of most Nigerians. Believe you me, I sympathize with communities that have been affected by insecurity. But let me just give you a background. In 2020, 2021, 2022, we have a lot of regime change in countries like Guinea, countries like Burkina Faso, countries like Niger, and some Sahel countries. Now, when those changes took place, they drove away, around 2022, they drove away the military bases in those countries, 2022, 2023. The French military, asked America to leave within those spaces, and there was a vacuum within those spaces. Some of them were expecting that Russia would cover up, but Russia also had a war to battle with within that period, so they couldn't support them militarily. So the Sahel became vacant and open, and the pressure of terrorism, and that's where ISIS moved from Asia into Africa, and they occupied the Sahel, and putting pressure on us as a country. Of course, it wasn't anticipated disruption, and disruption that of course, affected Nigeria. And affected in no small ways. In terms of manpower, in terms of equipment, in terms of preparedness to tackle it. But as a government, we've not slept over it. You've seen the level of recovery we're doing now for some of these kidnapped kids. And instead of going the traditional way, the security are going unconventional. Look at what they've done by deploying a lot of intelligence, tracing the carriers of food, carriers of water, carriers of logistics for these people, arresting all of them, making sure that people who are in the bush were disrupted. They became weak until our military went in, and because of their weaknesses, they were able to disrupt them and carry the people safely. And they'll be recovering all the kidnapped people that became for some time, return them back home safely without the normal, disruption, and allow them to be killed. We narrow them to a space, not to escape. Track the logistic providers through technology. Track the movement of food, movement of money of logistics, and that has helped in no small ways. And it's going to be deployed across the country to ensure we improve security in that way. Secondly, the issue of bringing the state police. The state police allows you to hire people within the local community. You know your culture. It's your brother. You know yourself with the police. The police knows you. He knows your house. He knows your home. He knows your uncle. He knows your friends. He knows your habit. He knows your behavior. So when somebody that is in your village that you've known all over, that he has nothing, the next thing you come with a motorcycle, you ask, where did you get the motorcycle from? You start investigating him. That's the essence of the state police. They can localize the security. You can gather more intelligence. You can actually disrupt their processes of insecurity, and that will allow the government to have absolute control over their own police. They can fire the police commissioner. They can fire a DPO, which they can do now. They can give directive to be carried out on the spot. They can ask armed men to go into a community and ensure that people are saved. These are things we are doing to ensure we improve security also. We are even going further than that. We are creating more division. Taraba has been given a military division. There will be GOC here very soon. I think it has already been appointed. Now, we are recruiting more soldiers who support these communities so that more ungoverned spaces will be covered by military men. We are recruiting over 30,000 personnel in the immigration, in civil defense, in fire service, and also in prison service. This will give critical manpower. With the same thing in the police, same thing with other services, to ensure that we can deploy more manpower to protect communities and also cover more ungoverned spaces. These are some of the strategies we are using to ensure that we improve security. Also working with international communities. You've been seeing a relationship with America, how the relationship between Nigeria and America has led to killing of some of the high ISIS commanders in Nigeria. So the international collaboration also is coming in. We keep on improving on our international collaboration to ensure we improve security in these states also. These are some of the things we are doing to improve security in the country.
Well, thank you, John. And I think now let's go to the National Secretariat properly now, as the celebration continues. So it's about a year now that you have been the National Chairman of the Progressive Congress.
Yes.
So many things have happened within that 1 year.
Yes.
Please, can you tell us what has been the most challenging of all of them?
The most challenging was to automate the system membership of the party. When we started automate the automation, I gave a timeline that I want to get the membership automated in 4 months, and that was November. We said by February, want to get the entire membership, just about 3 months plus, want to get the membership of the party fully automated, and a lot of people oppose it. People say it's not possible. People give reasons, and the reason why people say it's not possible because we said you must use your NIM for registration, so that we have a handshake between the database of NIMSI and APC data link, so that if you said our data, if you declare a number, I always people say that APC doesn't have that number, and I say, how do you want to say that? If you doubt the membership of APC, which is NIM proven, you are doubting your bank account. Your bank account is NIM driven. Your driver's license is NIM driven. Your international passport is NIM driven. So if anybody doubts APC membership, go and throw your international passport, go and throw away your driver's license, go and throw away your what again? All the identity in Nigeria are driven by NIM, and we're the first political party to drive membership using NIM. And it has given us some level of clarity, and it has given us more data in our hands. I'll give an example. When we had the election in Ekiti, we just use our data and just x-ray our data and analyze the data. And we said, who are these people living in Ekiti? We said, okay, the indigenous are Yorubas. Followed by which group? What's called the next group are the people from Kogi, the Ibras. They are the largest next, and they are not living in cities. They are mostly farmers in the villages. Next by who? The Hausa community, the Hausa community. Next by who? The Igbo community. Like that, we could analyze it. We could see people that visibility in data analytics, and we could target people how we can campaign. So, make it easy for us to win elections. So when you win election, we have complete data of people who are targeting. And Oshun said the same thing we are doing. That's why we've done our data analytics. We already explained why we're going to win. We explain how our vote will come in. This data analytics. We are targeting them. We are moving in to campaign. We've been campaigning on the ground, moving around communities, targeting areas of our own focus, our strength and weaknesses. While all the political parties are using the old colonial method of campaign, climbing drums and shouting, we are using technology to drive our campaign. Tomorrow, when we win election, I've been seeing them shouting on TV and saying that we want to muzzle out them, muzzle them in Oshun. But we are doing the needful. We are campaigning house to house, home to home. We are on their social media handle. We are on their phones. We are on their TV. We are on their own social media handles. Where are they? That's why I said that. I was discussing, I said the Oshun case is like kicking a pep, trying to jam a trailer. I don't know where the kicking a pep will go to.
But there's a lot of violence already. So how is ABC going to work with other parties to make sure that the election is not only free and fair, but also violence-free?
The violence is not from APC. It's not from APC. And I challenge the governor. He's the executive governor. He's the chief security officer of the state. If it's by APC, let me arrest them and parade them, investigate them. If it were APC, the government would have been the first to parade them. Why you can't parade them is because they are not APC members.
So, gentlemen, on this note, we are going on a very short break, and when we come back, this very interesting evening as the national chairman will be talking on more national critical issues in the polity. By this time, we'll be back in a while.
With the best news bulletin as of today, TVC News at 10.
And the winner is TVC.
Being the best is never simple. It is pressure, precision, and the responsibility to get it right.
Behind every headline, there's a powerful engine of network engineers and technical teams working round the clock, keeping the newsroom alive, connected, and on air. Producers shaping the stories, editors refining the truth, graphics designers and promo producers bringing clarity and impact, filling our screens with content that informs, educates, and empowers. And then the brave reporters who dare it all, stand in the rain, the heat, the tension to bring live, accurate coverage to Nigerians all year round. The anchors who ask the hard questions, interrogate the issues, and keep the nation informed with courage and balance.
Yes, it takes a lot. But here at TVC News, we are always ready to give our best, telling the Nigerian story from the Nigerian perspective.
TVC News, Best TV News Channel Nigeria Broadcasting Awards, and the Best Television Station Nigeria Media Merit Award. TVC News, first with breaking news.
In a world where news never sleeps, we're taking a giant leap into the future. We at TVC Communications are proud to introduce a new era in news broadcasting. But first, let me introduce my special friend, Olamide AI. Hi, Olamide Human. Is it time to come out yet? Yes, indeed it is. And you can bring your friends along. Meet our new AI anchors, speaking your language and sharing your stories. From English, good day. These are the news headlines, to Pidgin.
Better country people, on a good evening.
Yoruba.
Ekaro, Ekudede Asikoyi, Shedadalabayi.
Igbo.
Ndewo, Auto Innovation. Ahambu Obada Samson Ejiro.
And Hausa.
Mutane na sanar da zuwa, sunana Rakia Abdulkarim kuma kana kallon TVC News.
We are bringing the news closer to you. Faster, smarter, and always reliable. And together, we are shaping the future of news for every Nigerian, everywhere. Innovation, connection, and trust. The future of news is here.
TVC News, first with breaking news. And now first in Nigeria with AI news anchors.
Speak to the people of Nigeria. And it's been 1 hour since this program started, and we're now continuing for another 1 hour. Mr. Chairman, we'll continue with your permission, and I have Rayan Bala of the NTA standing by for the next question.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, political activities are heightened now, both in your party and the opposition. Yes. Is APC ready to manage the tension?
We don't have any attention. Not even I'll be afraid of. We really don't have anybody to compete with. me just give you my narration. I've been to all the states of the Federation. We had 23 governors. When I came today, we have 31 governors. When I came in, I know that there will be self-implosion in APC. Even the deputy woman leader, some of the leadership of the NWC of the PDP, they've also come to meet me in APC. And from ABGA to PDP. PDP, he moved to Labour Party. Labour Party, he moved to ADC. ADC to NDC. All of them started moving, this movement, before the creation of APC. In 2012, there was no APC when Obi moved to left, ABGA. In 2007, there was no APC when Atiku left to move to another political party. So why do people blame us when opposition starts displaying their culture that they've been having for decades? They transfer, instead of blaming the people, the culture that they have built over years. And mark you, if you check APC, we take responsibility when it comes to us. When we had problem in Rivers, and the court declared that APC has no candidate in Rivers, when Amechi was the governor of Rivers and he was APC, we sulked, we cried, we blamed ourselves, we took responsibility, we learned our lessons and took correction. The same thing in Can we continue? Okay. So, if you watch out, how can you maybe do you blame the president now for Fulanis having a nomadic culture? Or do you blame the president for farmers going to farm every day, which has been their culture? Why do you blame APC for some people's culture, political culture? So I think we in APC, we've been the most stable political party. All our leaders have been APC from 2013 when it was created till date. They have never moved. Our key leaders have never moved. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has never moved. Senator Kashim has never moved. Most of our critical members of APC, they've never moved. Our former party leaders, See them, they're all intact. So do you blame us for having a stable political party that has grown over years and has kept stability? Or you blame those people that have made their political party unattractive for others to follow? Look, let me just tell you, if you follow any political party outside APC, these two political parties, I'm not too sure the party they will be next year. After the election, they will still become again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the last 1 year or two, the Tinubu administration has been reading out statistics on how the economy has been improving, like the increase in the foreign reserve, yes, the bump in the Nigerian exchange, and a lot of statistics like that.
Yes,
which is highly commendable. But to ordinary Nigerian, they are feeling the pain of the fuel subsidy removal and the unification of the foreign exchange regime. So how do the government intend to translate these positive results we are getting, those positive indices? How do we intend to translate it to better welfare for the people, so that the suffering that every Nigerian is going through today can be ameliorated?
Now, you know, the macro economy indices determines the micro. You cannot fix the micro without the macro. You cannot build an economy in an empty space. Let me give you an example. The reform we've undertaken, by 2023, we have a trade deficit of over $7 trillion, over 7 trillion naira, over 7 trillion trade deficit. Today, what do we have? We have over 6 trillion naira trade surplus this year alone, in the first 2 quarters. Over 6 trillion naira trade surplus. It means we're exporting more than we're importing. It means the production that some of the people who are selling, that they want to get Nigeria productive, that's what we're doing. This production is creating more jobs. Now, if you go also and read the data from Economics Quantus, they said, the Quantus economists, they said this is the first time the economy in Nigeria is growing more than the population of the country. We are growing at roughly over 4 to 5% economic growth. Population is growing at about 2%. Now, it simply means that Nigerian economy is growing more than the population growth. Before now, why we're having this high rate of poverty is that our economy was growing less than our population. The population was growing more than our economy, which means that we're in the right direction. Now, what actually brings about those job creation? If someone tells that government will create all the jobs, the person is lying to you. Rather, attracting investors into the economy, setting up industries, create the jobs. Creating services within the economy creates the jobs. So the private sector should be the major driver of the economy. Are we in the right direction? The answer is yes. Why are we in the right direction? Today, the confidence in our economy and all the rating by international communities have given us a place in the Nigerian economy on B+, from C- to B+. But is that enough? The answer is no. What have we done, and what are the indicators that we're creating even jobs in the first place? Look at the investors who are coming to Nigeria. Let me take one of them. Shell was folding up in Nigeria. They were divesting, selling their shares, selling their properties in Nigeria to leave Nigeria because the economy was unattractive. Today, Shell are not just back, but Shell are investing $20 billion into our economy. That investment will create more jobs, will open up opportunities, will create more services. That's how jobs are created. Now, the same thing with other sectors, the same thing with the private sectors. Even the airlines. You recall at the point all the airlines, most international airlines closed and they were not coming to Nigeria. All their decks were all shut. People that were working under them as service providers, they all closed and they all lost their jobs. Today, what was the reason? We're owing them. Our economy could not pay them. Central Bank has printed over 20 trillion naira. Printing money without cash backup. And when these monies come from this national community, CBN doesn't have the capacity to pay them back. So all the airlines close up, most companies close up because they couldn't recover their money. Today, all those airlines are back. Those jobs are being recovered. Those economies are turning back. I can go on and tell you how most of the recovery that we're doing. But the most important thing is that we are on the path of job creation. And that's why we're building a $1 trillion economy. All those facts I'm telling you about the $1 trillion economy is build jobs, create jobs, and build the agricultural sector, which will employ most people, service sector, the petroleum sector. In the petroleum sector, let me just bring you back on speed on that. In 2023, our production has dropped to less than 700,000 barrels per day. Today, we're up by between 1.6 million to 1.7 million barrels per day in terms of production. You can fact check all this data. Now, we are more than doubled. That simply means more jobs, more revenue, more services in the country. If we keep on pushing these narratives of job creation within the communities, and that's why we're empowering the states also. We expect the state also to factor themselves into the $1 trillion economy. So every governor, every local government chairman, look at the master plan of Mr. President, the agenda of this $1 trillion economy. Factor and find yourself into the economy. And you know, funny enough, sometimes people don't know how to find themselves in the economy. But we've gone further than that. You need to check our youth credit program. We are providing, a loan of between 200 to 2 million to youths, between 200,000 to 2 million naira to youths at 1.25% interest rate. There's no bank anywhere in Africa that will give you a loan at 1.25% interest rate. None. The federal government is offering to the youths so they can self-create their jobs. We're also providing the credit for workers, for low-income earners, and the credit program allows you to get credit to buy any item on credit and pay back at 0% interest rate. Doesn't happen anywhere. We're creating it. It's already functional and working. And I can go on and on and on. I don't expect this thing to be a one-off activity. We're investing to create jobs. We're investing to create opportunities. Nigerians also need to see the opportunities in this $1 trillion economy and factor themselves in. Sometimes you may sit down and be an onlooker. Look at Chinese. Look at other people coming in with their portfolio money. Because they see the opportunities. So I need Nigerians also to factor themselves to the economy. You must see the opportunities are also arising from all these places. Look at how our stocks have grown. In the last 3 years, our stock has grown by more than 5 times. We're the fastest growing stock exchange in the country. Our stock is among the top 5 globally. And some Nigerians who have money, they would have, assuming they put it there, their own money would have been worth 5 times what they have. Imagine a civil servant who has saved his money in the bank, 500,000, who would have put it in a good stock, being advised to invest it, would have had about 2.5 million naira. A farmer who has been farming and keeping his money inside sacks in the house, assuming he puts that money to the stock of 10 million, would have been talking about what? 50 million naira worth by himself. So there are opportunities. But are we looking at the right places and the right factors, the right places that we can advise? So I advise Nigerians, especially Nigerian youths who are listening to me, Look for financial advisors anywhere you are. They tell you what the opportunities in the economy are. And recently I just read of the unicorn in Lagos, the financial management system unicorns. They're the fastest growing. Today, they just estimated that the Lagos unicorns are the fastest growing globally. You can go and fact check that one. And they said they are worth, the financial system management system alone, unicorns, are worth $15 billion in Lagos alone, not across the country. And these are developed by young men, young people on the 40s who are participating. So imagine people on the 40s who are now worth collectively about $15 billion. Put that in naira terms. That's how many trillion? Over 20 trillion.
So Mr. Chairman, now we'll talk to Moses.
Thank you, sir. Sir, record has it that you are the youngest party chairman so far. And which
of the APC?
Yes, of the APC.
Yes.
Which are
because there are the political parties that you don't even know their names, and they have people younger than me.
Of course, of the APC, and which you have been very active and busy enough and doing great things as a young person. And permit me to say with your full energy. So, sir, are there plans for youth inclusive government?
APC has some of the youngest, Mark you, the youngest senator in the National Assembly now came in his 30s is from the APC. Youngest National Assembly members, they are from the APC. Youngest ministers, they are from the APC. We have a minister of it who is in 30s. The youngest everything, we are producing them. So you don't need to ask me. We have the highest number of the young CEOs in the country. People in their 30s are CEOs. We have many women who are CEOs. So the issue of youth inclusion, we lead, others follow. So if you are a young person and you want to be in leadership, you want to participate in democracy, APC is a destination for you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the APC National Woman Leader is now the deputy governorship candidate in Taraba State. So how do you feel about that, especially now that women are yearning for special seat for female gender?
I can say that this is a big plus for Taraba State. Most people who will just look at the fact that she's a woman, but that's not the issue. She's been National Working Committee member of APC. As National Working Committee member of APC, she interacts with other governors. She interacts with the national community. She interacts with the National Assembly. She interacts with the president, which means you're not bringing a novice into governance. The governor is bringing somebody that can connect the wall for him. Somebody that can stand before the wall and talk, and all will listen to her. And mark you, if you want the world to listen to you, look for a woman. Globally, it's everywhere. That's the standard. In short, if you come to, go and check. Most of my SAs are women. When I want in attention, I just push them, and I get the attention. So simply put, Taraba has made the right choice. Choice of inclusion. When the women are voting, when they carry their cards up, they will say, God bless Governor Kefas for choosing one of us to be part of the system. When they pick their cards, they will say, this woman inclusion. When they pick their cards, they will say that we are now part of the government. When they pick their cards to vote, they will say, thank you APC for making us part of this system. For sure. Just imagine millions of women who are going to queue on election day and be singing, be dancing, and be celebrating as they cast their votes because of this single woman that they brought on board. Mark you, this is not just victory for democracy, this is victory for inclusion, this is victory for women, this is hope for the women folks.
Okay,
Still on the birthday celebration.
Yes.
Critics says that politicians come down to the grassroots, maybe during elections and birthday parties and stuff like that. How will you ensure APC? How will APC ensure this isn't just a one-day event? Because it's your birthday. Someone will say, I haven't seen the APC national chairman in Taraba State, but it's because of his birthday celebration. Then why is it now? Why is it coming down to Jalingo now? Because as journalists, we tend to hear what people are saying out there to know what is the problem. So this is one of the things going on in Taraba State. So
last year, I did a more intensive medical outreach for 6 weeks. It wasn't my birthday, and it wasn't because of election. Last year, I provided support for over 2,000 young men, entrepreneurs. I gave them soft grants. I gave them equipment in different places. It wasn't my birthday. It wasn't for election. Before I went to politics, I was providing scholarship. I built a community secondary school in my village. Many kids have benefited from it. I've been providing scholarship for over 20 years. And I wasn't in politics. It wasn't because of politics. The same thing with Mr. President. I can give the prism of Mr. President. Mr. President has built human beings over years, not because he was going to contest for president. He was building people across the country. I met somebody in 2022 when we were going to vote for Mr. President for the primary election, and asked him, who will you vote? He said, he's from Adama. He said, for sure, President Tinubu. And I said, why do you want to vote President Tinubu? He said, I was in the House of Assembly in Adama State. I was suspended indefinitely from the House. And it was on TV. And President Tinubu looked for me and brought me to Lagos. He said I should be sitting to learn from the women in the House of Assembly in Lagos. He was paying my salary. I was receiving my allowances. I was receiving constituency allowance. I was going to build projects in Adama State more than the House of Assembly members in Adama State. They voted me as one of the best House of Assembly members, but I never received one kobo from the Adama State House of Assembly because I was suspended. This is how people build human beings over years. And that's the culture of Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There are people across the globe. See me, he's building from Plateau. He's building Zainab, who is now your deputy controller candidate from National. He's now here. If you go to Lagos, his Minister of Budget was from Anambra State. One of his local government chairman was from Kano. The Minister of Budget that he brought, he took him to national. He became DG Budget Office. Osibanjo is from Ogun State. His own, the former minister of Lai Mohammed is from Kwara State. He took him as chief of staff in Lagos. And you can give him counting numbers. So he was harvesting people across the country without not minding whether he would contest or not. But he sampled and picked the best hand across the country, not minding whether he's contesting election or not. Now, maybe because the culture you are used to, that's how they behave, but not APC. Now, this state is now APC, and you see a difference between what you are used to when PDP was in government in Taraba State and how APC would demonstrate capacity, and now they're in APC.
Okay, Gloria from Rock FM.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I just want to ask you like a two-in-one question. Are you on social media, sir?
Yes.
Okay, how do you handle criticism when it comes from the general public? You know we are in a democracy and you're rightly leading the people.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you handle criticism, especially if it's coming from the negative side? That's one. Two, you sound very untouchable and representing your party. And you sound very confident as well that Nigerians should see evidence everywhere so that they would, either elect this party or support the party as a whole. Now, I'm coming from the angle of the layman where they expect explanations, especially as it regards certain policies and certain things that they don't understand at all.
I agree with you.
Yes, sir. So the average man is saying, oh, they've removed subsidy, we're suffering. Even the orange sellers on the road, you know, the petty traders and all that, they're saying these things and they need explanation. And most times explanations don't really come to the understanding of the people. Yes, how do you react to this?
Now, let me just take you first on criticism. Do you know what has actually improved us? We listen to the people. I recall there was one day I was with Mr. President and we were watching news together with him. And he was paying rapt attention. And after he listened to the conversation on TV, he said, this is a key point. He called the minister and asked him, go and do this. Criticism has made us better. Without the criticism, we wouldn't be here. My media team, every day, they go through all newspapers where they mention our government and where they mention APC. They analyze it and bring it to me. Positive or negative, they bring it to me. And they will tell me the strategy that I need to act on. Some of them, they will tell me, tell Mr. President to do this. Some of them will tell the minister to do this. So they will tell me as a person, do this. So they will tell me, I've not done enough in this one. That's the reason why I'm very informed about what's happening about the government. Because every day I received a newspaper review, TV review, radio review, and some of them are so blunt that sometimes I want to get angry at the analysis, but I have to accept it. That's reality. So, but they have improved our governance. They've improved our approach. So I want to thank our critics. You've really helped us. If you're listening to me, you're a critic, I want to thank you. When I watch you on TV, on radio, making analysis, even newspapers, you've made us actually better than what we are supposed to be. So I don't condemn criticism. But there are times that people criticize out of lack of knowledge. You know, somebody told me, I recall I was discussing about the coastal road. Somebody told me that, why the coastal road? Because the person doesn't know that we have 5 DC ports. We need to connect these deep sea ports. We take them by rail. We do this. He said that it's too expensive to build the coastal road. And he doesn't know how critically this infrastructure will be for the country and how that the future of our economy. So when he's criticizing the infrastructure, I say, well, he doesn't know. I wouldn't blame him. But if they're genuine, I absorb them. If they're wrong, if opportunity anywhere on TV or radio, I emphasize them, or I tell the minister or ministry to emphasize them. I was with the Minister of Health today, and we're commissioning projects in the Federal Medical Center, the Kidney Center, and he told me that they build social numbers across the country. He told me they build critical units, they build social number, accident centers, social numbers across the country. And I said, people seem not to know. Is that okay? They've said, okay, dialysis is 50% free. Some people don't even know in the village. So they still go to private clinic and also pay for it. Is that okay? So how many free services that people don't know? And people still go ahead and do them. And if I tell you, I was Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, we digitize the poverty indices. We use about 128 indices, that data set to estimate poverty across the country, and we use that to reach out and get people who are poor across the country. I cannot give details of how we adapted the 128 data set. Finally, we automated the system. We got the account numbers. We got their bank accounts. We use the bank account to trace how much per annum. We use their own phone numbers to trace how much credit they put per annum. We use several other factors, and we were able to estimate the poverty rate. And we made payment. You know how many people we paid? We paid over 7 million households as it stands today. Now, but nobody hears about it before, because in those days they used to carry cash. Ghana must go and move around and be sharing it from home to home, and they put it on TV and camera. Now you're sitting at your home and you only get an alert. And because these poor people are in the village and rural communities and they cannot come on TV to talk, that one that they're moving from house to house and giving them cash and interviewing them look more attractive. And they said that they were working. Hours that we gave, in 8 years they shared only 2 million. Us in a year we shared over 7 million. They said ours is not working. That where is the evidence? That before now we're seeing the evidence. Which evidence do you want? I told them the names are available. You are a media person. Go to Ministry of Humanitarian and Poverty Reduction. Collect data. Go and fact check. We asked the World Bank. I gave the World Bank the data. I said, go and fact check. If you don't find these people, I will resign. They moved around and they got 98.8% of them available. About 1%, 2% they couldn't get them. Not as if they couldn't get them. Maybe they went to their homes and not around, something like that. But they discovered that all the people are available. And discovered that all these people are actually truly poor. So, I think I challenge the journalists also. Instead of being armchair journalists, I think we need to also have investigative journalists who go out, investigate and find data, bring out this data and challenge with the data. Say, based on this data, on this, you've not done enough in this. Can you go and improve on this? Can you improve on this? That data will help us as a government. And that will help us as a government. Help the people, the poor, the vulnerable, who find reason why governance should be improved for them.
Thank you, Zakaria. Please, please.
Once again, Chairman, happy birthday again.
Thank you. This is my birthday soon.
Sir, you know health is wealth. Thank God you pick part of the health to celebrate their birthday.
Yeah.
Sir, we can say many Nigerians they don't have access to roads to the health facilities in this country. Do the federal government intend to improve by providing access roads to the health facilities in this country?
But you've seen what we've discussed about road network. Now we have what we call the federal roads, and we have what we call the state road. I'll give you an example. In Taraba State here, you know the Lao Bridge.
Yes.
The federal government is taking over that bridge, building it and build that road into Jalingo here. You know the AB Bridge from Jos. We are building a super highway, which will be the fourth legacy project of Mr. President. The first legacy project is the Coastal Road. The second legacy road is the Badagry Sokoto Super Highway. The fourth legacy project is the Trans-Sahara Super Highway. And the fourth legacy project is the one from Jos down to Panshin, to Shandam, to Ibi, into your state here. So these are roads that were never there before. Show me, tell me in good sense, is there any single dual carriage road constructed by federal government from independence to date in Taraba State? By the federal government, not state government. None. But you're going to witness it now. Courtesy President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even there was none. Now they're having it. Kogi, there was none. Now they're having it. The only dual carriage road by the federal government was from Abuja to Kaduna to Kano, and from Kano to Maiduguri. That's all. But today, almost all the states will be touched in the north by dual carriage road by the federal government. So in terms of critical infrastructure, we can't build them overnight, but we are making effort to build as much as we can. Now, with the surplus money also available, you discover that more governors are building roads infrastructure across the state. You've seen some of them in your state here. Some road construction is taking place across the state. We expect also local governments to step and do some rural access road in rural communities. When the synergy between the federal government, the state government, and the local government become functional, then the connectivity will make easy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, if we are to take away the position you occupy, the party structure,
yes,
and look at you on a personality background of who you are, what do you think you want Nigerians to remember you for at these 58?
At the 58, there's nothing for me really. In the university, I was a professor. I left the university about 9 years ago. I was really a professor. That's the peak I can become. I can't go beyond a professor in the university. I reached my peak. I'm in the APC. I'm national chairman. I can't aspire in the party beyond national chairman. Look, an ordinary citizen achieving all he has in dreams in life. I must thank God and appreciate God for bringing me this far. For me, I'm a product of grace. That ordinary young person in the village that was finding difficult to pass exam. I'm the only professor that couldn't pass common entrance examination. And see me here, I'm a professor. So if I should ask Nigerians, see that ordinary young person that didn't even have a dream. Somebody placed a dream before him and built him to achieve his dreams in life. And every day I wish I can plant that dream in a lot of lives by touching people's life, improve people's life. And that's the reason why I spend my years in humanitarian services than in the profession I've been. So when I was even made Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, it was like fulfilling my lifelong dream. Let me tell you how I went to humanitarian services. That woman I was telling in secondary school, that said built me academically. When I finished my university and started working, I made some money. She's from UK. I left to go. I left to go and see her. I got there and discovered that she was late. She died of cancer. So I never had the opportunity of even giving her a cup of water. So I made in my mind that I'll come back to Nigeria and work to touch the life of other people and make people who cannot also access education to access education and become like me. That's how I set up a community secondary school. I started giving scholarship. I started building others. In short, I used to go back and teach myself in the rural communities during holidays. So see me as that ordinary citizen of Nigeria who want to build others. Want to have others to build their dreams and fulfill their livelihoods. That's how I want Nigerians to remember. Remember that villager who is now a professor, who became national party chairman because somebody gave him the opportunity to become one, and he wants to make others to also fulfill their dreams.
Okay, Saole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Without missing words, the President just increased the salaries of the military up to like 80%. Without missing words, that has really boosted the morale of the military. Right now, other security agencies are also clear money for same, and the civil service, the civil service just about 3 days ago, the NIC was requesting for about 500,000 naira as a minimum wage. It is so glaring that the present minimum wage cannot really take any Nigerian to anywhere. So what is government planning to do to ensure that at least let people be paid a living wage that will really take care, that can really at least take care of their basic needs as citizens?
Yeah, you know what? Mr. President is a listening president. If you look out all through the history of Nigeria, no president has brought industrial harmony and stability in Nigeria more than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. List of strikes by workers, list of strikes by university society. I was in university as a professor, and I know how many times we go on strike almost every year. But these 3 years from now, we don't have a strike in the university. You can go to university and you're sure in 4 years' time your child will graduate. The stability in the university now. People are more assured. The timetable is almost uniform in all the universities, unlike before. You see one university finishing their first semester in January, another one in October, another one in December, another one in March. Today, they've closed those gaps. There's stability in the system. Less workers are going on strike. In Taraba State here, I can ask you for free. Do you know how many times workers used to go on strike in Taraba before? And you know, when you are making also your increased salary for workers, it involves negotiation because it's minimum wage now. It means local government should afford it, the minimum wage. State government should afford the minimum wage. The state government should also afford the minimum wage. And the private sector should also, because we are giving a blanket minimum wage. So the private sector should also afford the minimum wage. So it's normally a negotiation. And government is open for negotiation. So, but we need also other sector leaders, the captains of industries, the state governors, the local government, they should all come together before minimum wage normally agreed on. It's not just a one-off fiat by Mr. President. We come and announce that tomorrow we have a minimum wage of so and so this thing. It's not a fiat. And finally, the last time we know it has to go to National Assembly. So after all these things, we need to come to the National Assembly to pass as a law, so it becomes law. So it's not just a Mr. President's activity. It's a collective activity of several actors before a minimum wage is arrived at. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Peter?
Yes, you have done very well. So much you have talked so much about some of your plans. If you should be given that more time to impact in Taraba, which is this aspect of education, and I'm so glad about that. So, sir, kudos to our governor here, who has also giving us free education to the secondary and the primary school. So, what other ways can this education be improved in Taraba State more for the people that are already in school, such as the MSc and those in undergraduate?
You know, I said that I watched Awolowo in one film, and I also saw the pictures of Awolowo visiting the Midwest, the present Edo and Delta. I don't know which part, but they said that it was the Midwest as of that time. He visited that place. Because he was part of the Southwest, and that was before independence. He visited a community. That was around 1950 something, early 50s. I went to primary school to visit a primary school, and they were setting up primary school, free education everywhere. The children didn't have uniform. They were naked. Some have not even clothes on themselves, but they had classes. They had reading materials, they had good teachers. These children turned out to be some of the best in society. Some became bankers, some became generals. They were showing their pictures. This one became MD of this. This one became this. This one became PAMSEC. This one became a minister. This one became this. If you give a child education, sometimes you don't need to give him the best of uniforms, but give him the best of teachers. The first thing is a teacher. A good teacher will produce always a good student. Give the child the best of infrastructure, the best class, air-conditioned class, best uniform, everything. Without a teacher, the child may end up failing his exams. Secondly, learning materials, learning resources. We must provide learning resources, laboratories, workshops, textbooks, good library, good infrastructure that can help in learning for the child. We must provide it. Things like uniforms, to me, they come even later. If you ask them, bring any cloth of your choice from home, just come with it to school. To me, I don't really bother about uniforms. I don't really bother about, but I want first a teacher, followed by learning resources, thirdly, the classrooms. But this the mistake that people normally do. When journalists go to a school, they want to first check the classroom. This classroom is very poor. It's not painted, it's not this. They don't look at the quality of teachers who are in that school. I've never seen people complain about, even on social media, when they complain about the school is bad, they're complaining about the what? The structures. You know what? When I was in primary school, my primary school, we didn't have desks. So they just built steps. And you sit on this next step, another one sit on that next step. And we sat on it. When we come, we just clean the place and we just sit down. But we had some of the best teachers. In the class, they created a corner shop for us. They will go out in the city, we're in the village. They will bring empty container of sugar, empty container of omo, empty container of milk, empty container of this, and they put it as corner shop. They brought them for us there. I was in the village, but we knew what is called, what is a detergent, what is milk, what is this, what is that. In primary one, we learned those things without seeing them. Teaching aids, improvised. So for me as a teacher, when I work at a place, I don't bother about the physical structure. First, as important as it may look, the first thing I look at is who is the teacher. Is he good enough? The next thing, what are your learning resources before I come to the physical building? But I think the next is supervision of the students. Now, so all these things, are they functional? So to me, these are things that we need to work on in the state.
Taking over to party politics, names of some APC governorship candidates are yet to be on INEC portal. What is really happening?
Oh, but go and check. APC is the only political party. The first 2 days ago, we tied up by the same uploaded all our names. Only political party. The last time they did, the other political party have to ask for extension. We say we don't need extension. I'm sure today is the deadline by 12 midnight. Wait and see. They will ask for extension again. We are not asking for it. So we are the first in terms of everything.
Okay, we are rounding up, and Chairman, it's been a wonderful, time sharing this birthday with you. Jalingo is such a lucky city today.
Thank you.
Hosting you, and the media family is so proud of you. Please, sir, can you now share your birthday message to the people of Nigeria?
My birthday message is, I want to thank God and thank Nigerians for celebrating with me this birthday. For everyone life that we've touched today, through this medical outreach, to me is a celebration. For that man in the village that I saw in the hospital that had no eye, and he said that now he can see, that's a celebration. For that man I saw today also that has the hip made him not incapacitated, he can't walk, he can't go to farm, and there was hip replacement and knee replacement for him, he can now walk, that's celebration. For that sick person that was very vulnerable, that didn't have any money to buy his medication, now he has access to it, that's celebration. And my message is that, look at your neighbor. For every one person you can touch, place food on his table, you are celebrating with me. Make somebody well in the village, in the community, you are celebrating with me. Walk to somebody and say hello, hug him, and show love to the person. You are celebrating with me. So I want to thank Nigerians for celebrating with me. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, the old professor who has been in Taraba State since yesterday, specifically to celebrate his 58th birthday celebration. This is a special celebration, not because he is personally here, but because of the life that's being touched in terms of medical and surgical outreach that is named the Renewed Hope Medical and Surgical Outreach, specifically for this birthday celebration. And on this note, we are rounding it up, and on behalf of the members of the panel here, the very credible media team of the Honorable Chairman, and the big celebrant in the house and in Taraba State. We thank you Nigerians for sparing your time to be with us, and it's a wonderful time here. We wish you all the best as we continue the celebration closed door with Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.
In Biggie's house, there is no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Naija Season 11, everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale, because nothing is given, but everything is for the taking. When the world watches, will you be outshined, or will you step up and